Once upon a time, in a small town surrounded by quiet forests and gentle rivers, there lived a 26-year-old young woman named Sophia. Sophia was intelligent. She had a sharp mind. She could see problems before others even noticed them. People often praised her for being so thoughtful. But what they did not see was the war happening inside her head. Sophia thought too much about everything, all the time. When someone said something kind to her, she wondered if they really meant it. When she made a decision, she questioned it 100 times. When she lay down to sleep at night, her mind would start racing, replaying conversations, imagining worst-case scenarios, worrying about things that had not even happened yet. Her thoughts were like a storm that never stopped. They swirled and crashed inside her, leaving her exhausted even when she had done nothing. She could not enjoy a meal without thinking about what she should have said in a meeting last week. She could not enjoy a walk without imagining all the things that could go wrong tomorrow. Her friends noticed that she seemed distant. Her family noticed that she seemed tired. But when they asked if she was okay, Sophia would smile and say, "I'm fine, I'm just thinking." But she was not fine. She was drowning in her own mind. One evening, Sophia was sitting by the river near her home. The water flowed gently, but she could not feel its peace. Her mind was spinning with worries about her job, about her future, about a message she had sent that morning and whether she had worded it correctly. An elderly woman walking along the riverbank noticed Sophia sitting alone with troubled eyes. The woman had silver hair tied back softly and a face full of gentle wrinkles. She carried a small basket of herbs. She looked at Sophia for a moment, then smiled warmly. "You look like someone whose mind is very busy," the old woman said kindly. Sophia looked up, surprised. "Is it that obvious?" The old woman sat down on the grass beside her. "I have seen that look many times. It is the look of someone who thinks too much, someone whose mind never rests." Sophia felt her eyes fill with tears. No one had ever described it so perfectly. "I cannot stop," she admitted. "My thoughts go around and around. I try to control them, but they control me. I am so tired, but my mind will not let me rest." The old woman nodded with understanding. "I know someone who can help you. She is an old healer who lives deep in the forest. Many people have gone to her with troubled minds, and they always come back changed. Perhaps you should visit her." Sophia felt a small spark of hope. She had tried so many things: meditation apps, deep breathing, distractions. Nothing worked. But maybe this healer knew something different. "Where can I find her?" Sophia asked. The old woman pointed toward the forest. "Follow the river upstream until you reach a small waterfall. Her cottage is just beyond it. But go in the morning, when the light is soft. She prefers visitors then." That night, Sophia barely slept. Her mind, as always, would not stop. But this time, there was also hope mixed with the worry. Maybe tomorrow would be different. At dawn, Sophia set out into the forest. She followed the river as the old woman had instructed. The path was quiet and peaceful, but Sophia's mind was loud. She thought about what she would say. She worried about whether the healer would think she was foolish. She imagined the conversation going wrong in 100 different ways. Finally, she reached a small waterfall. The sound of the water was gentle and calming. Beyond it, she saw a tiny cottage, covered in vines and flowers. Smoke rose softly from the chimney. Sophia knocked on the wooden door. A moment later, it opened. An old woman stood there, different from the one by the river, but with the same peaceful energy. Her eyes were deep and calm, like she had seen the secrets of the world and made peace with them. "I have been expecting someone like you," the healer said gently. Come in. Sophia entered the cottage. It was warm and filled with the smell of herbs and earth. Shelves lined the walls, covered with jars and plants. In the center of the room was a simple wooden table with 2 chairs. The healer gestured for Sophia to sit. Then she placed a large glass jar on the table. The jar was filled with water, but the water was cloudy and murky. Dirt and sand swirled inside it, making it impossible to see through. Tell me, the healer said, what do you see? Sophia looked at the jar. I see dirty water. It is full of mud. I cannot see through it. The healer nodded. This jar is your mind. The water is your thoughts. And the dirt and mud, that is your overthinking. All the worries, the fears, the replaying of the past, the imagining of the future, it all swirls together until you cannot see clearly. Sophia stared at the jar. It was true. That was exactly how her mind felt, cloudy, confused, impossible to navigate. Now, the healer said, I want you to do something. I want you to make the water clear again. Sophia frowned. How should I pour out the dirty water? Should I filter it somehow? The healer shook her head. No, you cannot remove the dirt by force. You cannot think your way out of overthinking. That is the mistake most people make. They try to fight their thoughts, push them away, argue with them. But that only stirs up the water more. Sophia looked confused. Then what should I do? The healer smiled. Nothing. Just watch the jar. Do not touch it. Do not shake it. Do not try to fix it. Just sit and watch. Sophia was unsure, but she trusted the healer. She sat back and looked at the jar. At first, nothing happened. The water remained murky, swirling with dirt. Sophia's instinct was to do something, to shake it, stir it, fix it. But she resisted. She just watched. 5 minutes passed, then 10, and slowly, something began to happen. The dirt started to settle. The swirling slowed down. Little by little, the particles drifted to the bottom of the jar. The water became less cloudy, more still, more clear. After 20 minutes, the water was almost completely transparent. Sophia could see right through it. The dirt was still there, resting at the bottom, but it was no longer swirling, no longer blocking her view. Sophia's eyes widened. The water is clear. But I did nothing. The healer smiled warmly. Exactly. That is the secret. When you stop stirring, the water settles on its own. When you stop fighting your thoughts, they settle too. She pointed at the jar. You see, the dirt did not disappear. Your worries, your fears, your painful memories, they do not just vanish. They are part of you. But they do not have to control you. When you stop engaging with them, they sink to the bottom. They become still, and your mind becomes clear. Sophia felt tears rolling down her cheeks. All her life, she had been trying to fight her thoughts, trying to push them away, trying to think her way to peace. But that was exactly what kept the water stirred up. But how do I stop engaging with my thoughts? Sophia asked. They feel so real, so urgent. They demand my attention. The healer nodded. I know. The thoughts feel important. They tell you that you must analyze them, solve them, prepare for them. But most of the time, they are just noise. They are the dirt swirling in the jar, pretending to be the whole world. She leaned forward gently. The practice is simple but not easy. When a thought comes, do not grab it. Do not argue with it. Do not follow it. Just notice it. Say to yourself, there is a thought, and then let it go. Let it settle. Sophia wiped her eyes. It sounds so simple. It is simple, the healer said. But simple does not mean easy. You have spent years stirring your water. It will take time to learn how to be still. But every time you catch yourself overthinking, every time you choose to stop engaging, the water becomes a little more clear. The mind becomes a little more peaceful. She reached out and gently covered Sophia's hand with hers. You are not broken, child. You are just tired from stirring. It is time to rest. It is time to let the water settle. Sophia sat in silence for a long time. The cottage was warm. The jar of water stood still and clear on the table, and for the first time in as long as she could remember, her mind felt quiet. Not empty, not forced, just quiet. Like the storm had finally begun to calm. Before she left, Sophia asked, "How long will it take for my mind to stay clear?" The healer smiled. "That depends on you. The dirt will always be there. Life will always stir the water. But now you know the secret. You know that you do not have to fight. You just have to stop, watch, and let it settle." Sophia bowed her head in gratitude. "Thank you. I understand now." The healer walked her to the door. "Remember this, overthinking is not a sign of intelligence. It is a sign of a mind that has forgotten how to rest. Let yourself rest, child. The answers you seek will come when the water is clear." Sophia walked home through the forest. The path was the same, but she was not. The birds sang. The river flowed. The leaves rustled gently in the breeze. And for once, Sophia noticed them. She was not lost in her thoughts. She was here, in this moment, walking. When she got home, her mind tried to start again. Worries crept in. Old fears whispered. But Sophia remembered the jar. She did not grab the thoughts. She did not fight them. She just noticed them. And slowly, they settled. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Sophia practiced every day. Sometimes the water was clear. Sometimes it got stirred up again. But she no longer panicked. She knew what to do. Stop, watch, let it settle. Her friends noticed the change. "You seem calmer," they said. "More present." Her family noticed too. "You seem happier," they said. "More peaceful." And when people asked her what had changed, Sophia would smile and say, "I stopped fighting my mind. I learned how to let the water settle." So, my friend, if you are watching this, and your mind never stops, if thoughts keep you awake at night, if worries follow you everywhere, if you feel exhausted from thinking too much, please hear this. You are not broken. The dirt in your jar, the fears, the worries, the painful memories, they will not disappear. But they do not have to control you. When you stop grabbing your thoughts, when you simply watch and let them be, they will settle, and your mind will become clear. You cannot think your way out of overthinking, but you can learn to rest. You can learn to be still. You can learn to watch the water and let it settle on its own. This is not about being empty. It is about being at peace with what is there. The sun set gently over the forest, and somewhere a young woman sat by her window, watching her thoughts settle like dirt in a jar. She was not fighting anymore. She was finally at rest. Please give it a like and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Subscribe to SmartCent for more powerful stories that will change the way you see yourself and the world. Thank you for being here. See you in the next story.